Hey guys, I hope everyone's having a great week. This week, you guys are going to find the area of polygons. We started that last week. We found the area of triangles and quadrilaterals. So then this week, we're looking at finding the area of irregular polygons, and you'll take your mid-module check. So let me do a few problems with you. All right, so the first thing we have here is a six-sided figure. So this is a hexagon. Now, last week on my video, I did problems that are similar to this. So on the last screen, my last screen is going to say, I advise you to go back and watch the video I made from last week. I posted it for January 14th. Before you do your mid-module check, you'll probably want to watch that video, okay? All right, so what are we going to do with this hexagon? Since we don't know the formula to find the area of a hexagon, we're going to turn this hexagon into triangles. So I can make a triangle here, and then we're going to have 6 congruent triangles, right? And there we go. All right, so I'm just interested in this triangle. So the height, so first of all, the area to find the area of a triangle is the base times the height divided by 2. Remember, you have to find that 90-degree angle. That's why we have to have this dotted line to show that the height and the base make that 90-degree angle. So the base of each of our triangles is 10 inches. The height is, I covered it up, I can't see it. The height is 8.7. 8.7. So we're going to multiply 8.7, the height times the base. So 10 times 8.7 is 87. And then we're going to divide 87 by 2. And that is what? I don't know. Half of 8 is 4. I'm sure about that one. And then 2 goes into 7 6 times. No, just kidding, 3. Oh my goodness. It's too early. I'm making this video too early in the morning. So 3 times, how about that? 3 times 2 is 6. Bring down a decimal, or make a decimal, bring down a 0, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. So the area of this hexagon is 43.5, and inches times inches is inches squared. So 43.5. All right, you guys try the next one, pause the video, try the next one, and then come back and check your answers. All right, did all of you try this problem? So how many equal triangles are we going to have? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a pentagon. So the bases are all the same. The bases are 3.5 and the heights are all the same, 2 and 2/5. So I'm going to turn 2/5 into a decimal. So 5, 5 won't go into 2, so you add a decimal and a 0. Well, 5 go into 24 times, right? 5 into 24 times. So 2 and 2/5 is the same thing as 2.4. So this number is 2.4. So now we're going to multiply 3.5, which is the base, times the height of 2.4. And then we're going to half that. So 3.5 times 2.4, 5 times 4 is 20. 12 plus 2 is 14. 2 times 5 is 10. 6 plus 1 is 7. So I have 0, 4, 8, and I have 2 numbers behind the decimal. So I get 8.4, and now I'm going to half 8.4. And those are both even, so half of 8 is 4, and half of 4 is 2. So the area is 4.2 feet squared, or you could say 4 2/10, or 4 1/5. Those are all equal, right? All right, did you guys get the same? I hope you did. All right, moving on. So here we have an irregular polygon. So we are going to form some different rectangles. So let me change colors again. How about green this time? All right, so there's different ways we could do this. We could do a line here and here, which is totally fine. It doesn't matter. We could do lines here. Let's just mix it up. Let's do this. How's that? All right. So we have 3 rectangles, right? So I need the dimensions. Just pretend these lines are real straight, okay? So I need the dimensions of this rectangle. What's the length and the width? So we have a 2 by 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. All right, what are the dimensions of this rectangle? Well, if this whole side is 5, but this side right here is 2, that means this is 3. And this whole length is 9. Well, here's a 3 and this is a 4, so that's 7, which means this part has to be 2, right? So 4 plus 2 plus 3 is 9, which is the length of this whole side right here. So now, if this is 2 and this is 4, that means the dimensions have to be 3 by 6. Do you guys get that? Hopefully that makes sense to you. 4 plus 2 is 6. So the area of this rectangle is 18, 6 times 3. Okay. And then the dimensions of this tall rectangle right here is a 6 by 3. 6 by 3. So 18 centimeters squared. These are all squared, of course. And finally, to get the area of the whole thing, we're going to add 18 plus 18 plus 8. 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24. And then 2, 3, 4. There we go. Hopefully you were working along with me, or you did this before I did my problem and you're seeing that you got the right answer. All right, so go ahead. If you haven't tried the rest of the problems, go ahead and try those on your own and then come back and see if your answers are right. Okay. So number 4, we have this arrow, right? So I don't know the formula to find the area of an arrow, but I do know that I can turn this into a triangle. I see a triangle right here. And then I see a rectangle on the bottom. So my rectangle is easy because it's an 8 by 9. What's 8 times 9? 8 centimeters times 9 centimeters is 72 centimeters squared. So now what about the height of this triangle? The height of the triangle. Well, the whole length is 12 and this right here is 8. Below this is 8, which means this has to be 4, right? The base of my triangle isn't 8, is it? It is 10. The whole length is 10. So we have a 10 by 4 triangle. Well, 10 times 4 is 40. 10 times 4 is 40, but then we have to half it because it's a triangle. So the area of the triangle on top is 20 centimeters squared. And finally, we're going to add the area of the rectangle plus the area of the triangle, and we get 92 centimeters squared. There we go. How you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're trying by yourself. Very important to do that. All right, we have this crazy looking figure thing right here, right? So let's try to make some right triangles. So there's a right triangle. And there's a right triangle. And that mark just tells me that these two side lengths are the same, which means these two right triangles are congruent, right? So the length of this whole thing right here is 13 1/4. So I just need to know this length right here. Well, this side right here is 10 1/4. So I need to subtract 10 1/4 from 13 1/4. So 13 1/4 minus 10 1/4. Well, if I subtract 1 minus 1, I get 0/4, right? So if I have 1/4 of an inch and I take away 1/4 of an inch, I have nothing, correct? So now I'm just thinking of what's 13 minus 10? 13 minus 10 is 3. And I'm not going to write 0/4 because 0 divided by 4 is just 0. So the height of this triangle is 3 inches. Actually, both triangles, right? Also, with these fractions, you could turn these into improper fractions. You can multiply 13 times 4 and add 1. So what is that? 13 times 4 is what? 52. Add 1 is 53/4. Minus 10 times 4 is 40, plus 1 is 41/4. And then if we subtract those numerators, we get 12. 12/4, and 12/4 is 3. Okay, so however you prefer to do the problem to figure out the height of these triangles. So we know that the height of both triangles is 3. We know the whole length of the bottom is 17, but this part right here is 9, isn't it? Because it matches this, which means 17 minus 9 is 8. So we have to divide 8 into this length right here and this length. So that means this is 4, oops, this is 4, this is 4, and if this section is 9, that's our 17 inches. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so let's find the area of each of our triangles. So the height and the base, we're looking for those 90-degree angles. The height and the base is 3 and 4. So 3 times 4 is 12. But it's a triangle, so we would half it, which means that both triangles have an area of 6 inches squared, 6 inches squared. And then we want the area of our rectangle, which is a 9 by not 10 1/4, but it's 13 1/4. It's the whole length, right? So 9, so I'm going to multiply 13 1/4 by 9. Well, if I want to turn that fraction into a decimal, put the top dog in the house. The 1 goes in the box, 4 outside. 4 goes into 10 twice. The 2 left over, bring down a 0. And 4 goes into 25. So 13 1/4 is the same thing as 13.25. We're going to multiply that by 9. So 9 times 5 is 45. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 27 plus 2 is 29. 9 plus 2 is 11. And then there's 2 decimals behind the, there's 2 numbers behind the decimal. So the area of this rectangle is 119.25 inches squared. And then we have to add those 12 inches from both of these triangles. So 6 plus 6 is 12. So we're going to line up those decimals, bring down our 25, bring down that decimal, 9, 10, 11, carry the 1, 3, 1. So the area of the whole thing is 131.25 inches squared. That's a lot of work, you guys, but we got the right answer. 131 25/100 inches squared. So number 6, now I actually got this off of last week's PowerPoint, but you'll have one at least of these on your mid-module check. So I just copied and pasted it, but the rest of them, they're all there on last week's video. So go back to the 14th, my video I made and those example problems, and go through them one more time, okay? All right, so what about the area of the square? So this whole thing right here, where's my thing? All right, so we have a 10 by 10, right? So 10 by 10, 10 inches by 10 inches. The area of the whole square is 100 inches squared. The second question is, what is the area of the triangle? Well, if the whole base or the whole side of the square is 10, that means the base of my triangle is 10. And it shows me the height is 5. So base times height is 50, but it's a triangle, so we divide by 2. So the area of that triangle is 25 inches squared. And then the question is, how many triangles could we cut out of the square? So there's one, it's already marked for us. There's two, this is number 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4. So the last question, the answer is 4, which makes sense because isn't 4 times 25, 100, which is the area of the whole square? That totally makes sense. All right, so like I said, I'm not gonna rework last week's problems because you can look at the video yourself. So make sure you do that. Do well on your mid-module check. You have that this week. And then you're going to have some practice problems through Delta Math on Friday. So why don't we Zoom? Let's see, do I have a Zoom scheduled? No, let's go ahead and Zoom on Thursday, the 21st. If you need my help, if you need a little extra attention, why don't you join me at 2 o'clock on Thursday at 2 if you need to Zoom with me. Make sure you're doing your work. Make sure you don't have any zeros. Make sure you're reaching out if you have questions. Don't get behind. No zeros, no missing work. Stay on top of everything. All right, guys. If you need me, send me a message and I will get back in touch with you. Everybody have a great day.